Chairman, I can leave you here. They can have you for the whole evening after we finish. And the questions they are raising are valid.
Yes, yeah.
These are issues which we cannot paper over. In fact, I want to tell you, I have had a very candid meeting with Chairman here and his team. I've actually read the riot act to them. I'm happy that you've even asked him to apologize to the players. Because, to be honest, the Kenya Rugby Union has not treated rugby players well. Definitely. And they owe more than just an apology. They have to make it up to the players. But we have agreed on certain things, and that is what is important for us to put on record here. Number one, we have agreed that the basic requirements that we set in my meeting with federations 2 weeks ago must be the template for us moving forward if we want to elevate our sports to the next level. And so issues of accountability, transparency in the way we utilize resources is a must. And I've even asked the chairman and his team to bring to my office their audited accounts, the money they received from World Rugby, how they are spending that money, why players are not receiving salaries, and that kind of thing. We have agreed that issues of governance have to be improved. I have posed the same question to the chairman and his team. Why is rugby not attracting sponsorship? Rugby is such a premium brand in Kenya, really premium brand. So why is money going to football and not coming to rugby? I have told this good team that I don't want to see rugby go the same way that cricket went, that hockey went. Rugby should be sustaining the momentum that we have seen it previously, where it has branded this country to unimaginable levels. And Kenya has proven, beyond any shadow of doubt, that rugby talent is plenty. So Kenya Rugby Union merely has the responsibility to harness that talent. So we have talked, and we have talked candidly. But there's one thing I have made clear, which is more important than most, that in this whole conversation, the player is the king. The player is the queen. The player is the goose that lays the golden egg. Minus the player, even these officials have no business being in office. And therefore, player welfare must become a top priority for the Kenya Rugby Union. Payment of player salaries, payment of player allowances must take precedence over everything else. Respect for player contracts. You cannot run a system where a player has got no certainty over their contractual position, that you contract a player today and the contract can be ripped up tomorrow. So we have discussed all these issues, and we have been very candid with each other. Bottom line is, the union has made a commitment to clean house. And we want to see cleaning of house, not just by the word, but in deed. We want to see the union walking that talk. And I have given the commitment from government that we will be supportive. If the union is adhering to governance, good governance requirements, if the union is being transparent and accountable in the use of resources, government will be supportive, definitely. One of the things we want to help the union with immediately is with sponsorship. We want to talk to sponsors. I have promised the union to convene a sponsors round table, and I will host that round table myself, so that we can get sponsorship back into rugby. And I want to invite sponsors to get back into rugby big time. But sponsors are not going to put their money in a place which has governance issues, in a place which has accountability issues. So even as we seek sponsors back, the union must walk the narrow and straight of transparency, accountability, and good governance. No two ways about it. I want really to tell players, rugby players, at all levels, that what has happened around your situation is shameful. It is shameful not just for you, but also for the country, for the brand that rugby is in this country. And we are not going to allow this to ever happen again. The union must make sure that they bring requests for support to government in time. Government cannot be receiving information about such things because a name Changa has been launched. We have set a requirement. Bring your request for support at least 6 months to events. The rugby timetable or schedule is very clear, and you know it in advance. Bring us that schedule. Let us discuss it and see how to support the whole of the schedule well in advance. I have made a commitment that we are going to do 2 things immediately. Number 1, our Shujaa team that traveled to Dubai last evening. They traveled without allowances. They traveled on an empty stomach. We are going to make available allowances to them immediately while they're in Dubai, so that they can be able to represent the country both in Dubai and thereafter in Cape Town. So we will be making available resources for the allowances for those 2 legs, both in Dubai and in Cape Town. I have also given assurance that the men's team traveled, but the women's team stayed behind, again because of this confusion and this messy way of doing things. I have given a commitment that we will send the women team to Dubai to fulfill their commitment in these games. We will also be supporting their travel and allowances. But, and I mean this in a very serious terms, we will not continue to manage sports by crisis. We cannot continue to manage sports by crisis, especially in a scenario where we have a calendar and we know what is going to happen in a year's time, and we wait until last minute to start running helter-skelter like headless chicken. So I am authorizing this support because I feel the pain of players, and these players have been treated unfairly. We will extend a hand of support to the players, but we want to work with the union to make sure that this does not happen again. We don't want to see this situation happening again. Not in rugby, not in football, not in athletics, not in any sport. Our players deserve better. Thank you very much. Yes.
When are you going to pay the allowances, the dues that were not paid?
I'm making arrangements for that to happen immediately. Okay? In the shortest time practical, but definitely before they enter the pitch on Friday. Because they're entering the pitch on Friday for their first game.
Was it
yes.
going forward? You know that the 7 legs are 10. So after Dubai and Cape Town, they're going to be in Australia, they're going to be in Hong Kong, they're going to be in Singapore, they're going to be in the US. Now, you said that you're going to give them money. So will you cater for all these other legs of the 7 series? Or this is only just for now? The has to clean house and make sure that going forward, wanajipanga.
I'm sorting this crisis right now. There is no way. It's unacceptable. It is shameful for players to leave this capital, Nairobi, and fly to Dubai to fly our national flag on an empty stomach. It's unacceptable. That is not how this country does its things. That is not how this government wants to run sports. We don't want that to happen. So let us sort the crisis we have before us. And I'm with this union. Now I'm with them bumper to bumper. Mundu hu mundu, we say where I come from. I'm with these guys. We are going to sit down. We are going to streamline this space so that as our players go to Australia, as our players go to all these destinations, they go with certainty in terms of how they are going and how we are taking care of their welfare. Because player welfare is something which I must say, since I entered this ministry a month ago, I've been shocked by how we are handling player welfare. And we have to get back to the basics and take better care of our players. We owe them that at a minimum. Okay?